Welcome back to Satisfactory. Okay. Ooh. We have an opportunity here to save this blueprint. I think I should take it. Let's take this. What were we making here? High-speed connectors? Mega high-speed green. Save. Yes, please. Thank you. Cool. We saved one blueprint from the change. I wonder if I load that again. Can I strip this down? Let me see if I can strip this down to just a wall. Uh-oh. Before I do that, though, I should probably set up... Yeah, I should set that up. We already imported the pipe. We expanded the wire. We didn't really connect the two. We realized everything was backed up. So now we're going to switch our task over to making heat sinks. But I think while we're dealing with that... Ooh, I don't have enough fuel to make it. While we're dealing with that, we should probably set ourselves up with a little bit of buffer. Yeah, it's going to be maybe half an hour total, but... it's going to allow us the... a little extra to actually build a few heat sinks before things go bad again. So the downside is that this is only one belt worth. And it's really not even that. It's only 150. And this is wide open and it can't keep up. But it can't keep up because everything is pointed that way. So what I'll do is I'll make a little... So the stuff that we were going to set aside for future use, we'll split that. Of course, the danger of this is that it'll always choose the bottom or always choose the top. Yeah, we should probably do this correctly. Hold on. Actually, if we turn it in, it might be a little better. We'll pull that one back so we can turn this one straight in and then lift the second half of this one out. That way we'll at least have half for future production and half for build production. Somewhere, if not here. Maybe here. We'll build out to the water there. And then up here, we need to drag a line of good old-fashioned aluminum sheets. I could split straight from the export. How many belts of sheets do I actually have access to is the question. It looks like I only set it up for one. Roughly looks like 2 in, 1 out. Best way to clear. All right, let's get this down to the ground. And we'll make ourselves a nice little buffer. So the reason why I'm focused on a solution that consumes the sheets instead of the casings is because this will consume both. This will consume both the copper and the silica. So that'll make room for both of those. And then I'm thinking, well, that's enough to get the silica going. So that little buffer right there is actually one of my most useful buffers ever. So that'll allow us to make more alumina without collecting too much silica or forcing it. So now I can back up into here. Of course, geez, it's filling up fast. Holy moly. Okay, now that all the stuff that was in there is kind of cleared out, it's on a more regular cycle. And now that we're pulling aluminum sheets, that leaves room for these guys to make the ingots. This guy's got all ingots all the time over here. Why isn't this running if we're consuming? Oh, because we're super full. These machines are so backed up that they are basically, I mean, they're full on being full. It's gonna take a while, but it will loosen up. Well, that's a little too tall. I think I need to put some logistics down. Maybe a little stackable conveyors. It had to go up just a little bit. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think these heat sinks, we'll make them and then we'll just ship them out by drone. 1, 2, 3, 4. While we're thinking about it, let's get some power out here. Now that this is moving, we've left room for the silica to get dropped off. So now these can get shipped out. And I hear my batteries running, which is bad news. We've got way too much of our factory opening up. We got a real-time day before we have to worry about power. Oh wait, I was out here for power. I see a crease right there. I wonder if that's the dead zone. No, there's a little room out there. But I don't think we need to go much further than that. If I give myself... Well, see, the nice part about 7... Plenty of room. All right, let's redo all of that. Ironically, I'm using the heat sinks to capture some of the extra effort that our factory otherwise could put out. How high is this? Somehow we managed to get them both wrong. One, two, three, and then 1, 2, 3 on this side, and then we'll just delete the one in the middle, and we'll put some splitters in. And we'll just drop this one to the ground. And we'll split this one as well. Okay, so that's 6 industrial storage containers worth of storage on both sides of that. That's plenty. That's going to start using a good amount of our silica. That's going to start using a good amount of our copper. Oh, look at that. Suddenly all of our copper ingot smeltery is starting to kick back on. Everybody's starting to loosen up a bit. Now that we've got the supplies, we need to look at the heat sink blueprint. I'm going to save this to 5x5 green stripe wall. Now we gotta delete everything in here. Actually, I feel like maybe just making the wall again would be easier. It's not that hard. Yeah, we'll just make the wall again easier. Clear. Let's start with what we want, which is 1 meter foundation across the board. I see you. We got a deconstruction. Great. Well, this is not gonna be easy. I guess technically this doesn't have to be right in the center. Now, how am I going to do this? My original plan was to bring this material up through the floor. I can still do that, I think. I mean, I could directly connect that, since it's actually straight. I think this is going to be outside the blueprint. This should be the other direction. I'm just going to have to admit to some clipping here. would do 10.1. And then we'll just connect you. Like so. One of those is directly connected, so that saves us one hookup. I want to try to limit the clipping a little bit. Okay, and then we just need to get some of this back on its way. I think this is right. That's coming from the lower side, and then this one is connected here, and here, and here. So I could split this anywhere it'll let me. See, now this is what I get for trying to stop the clipping. That's my reward. Okay, those are both going in, those are both going out. And now we gotta figure out how we're gonna connect the heat sinks themselves, which we're sending to the upper level. Put in my own logistical hole just so it's a little further away. Yes, perfect. And then I'm thinking, since we won't have room to store everything at the top, we'll put inline storage. I mean, we are right on the edge here. We might not be able to do inline storage. Hold on. If it comes out here, so we're doing something weird. These are going to be perfectly easy to connect, but on this one it's a little more difficult. We're going out. I guess we're going out to up here. And this is coming in. And then we've got to merge it to go out here. I think this is working. So this level goes in here, merges in here, outputs here, which is coming out into the next level here, which is here, which goes into here. Yes, that's correct. Now we got to connect the power, which is the easiest of all of these, as long as you remember to do it. Then we'll set these to heatsink. And then just for organizational sake, Oh, wait. I wanted this one to be black. Yeah. So we know that's the output. Theoretically, we need 20.8 machines. This is probably enough. I really didn't leave myself very much room for internal colors. I might have to come back and put in a separate pass for a facade. We'll put some internal lighting in here. Then when we come back to the facade, maybe we'll have something to play against. Or not, who knows? Heat sinks. Now, how much would it cost me to build 5 of these? Oh, we've got it all except for a little bit of concrete. Which, we've got concrete on site, so I'm not even going to go grab it. We can get just over halfway there. I almost clipped myself on that building. Ah, so we've run out of copper sheet. We knew that that was going to be the problem. The copper sheets were going to be the first to go. We're only making 150 of them. So while we're not building, once we start building though, we only have a stack of copper sheets to play with. While we're building, half of the production will go into here. So that really doesn't leave us a ton. Of copper sheets to play with. We're probably going to have to foist some additional copper sheets into the system here. But we'll worry about that later. The real point is that we've got this silica starting to flow a little bit better. And a good amount of copper sheet or copper ingot buffer is coming in handy. We'll go 5 up. We'll get the base in place. That looks like it's right in the middle. Though it's 2 on that side. Ugh. I don't know if I like that. 2 on the back. I'm gonna have to trim this. Unless I ramp it. put 5 more of these in, or 4 more of these in, 5 total. We did say we needed concrete. That has potential to be pretty cool, actually. Why'd I have a chunk of sulfur? One more. Oh, I just can't reach it. This swamp water is too dirty. I can't even see where I put the power connections. But I can see where I'm getting power from, which is just enough of a hint. Alright, we're going to go a little higher on the water line this time. Alright, now I've got this factory powered, and I can jump up here and make our final connection. All we have to do is combine these back down to a single. You know, it'd probably be easier. Well, no. I can do it like this. Perfect. And we are making heat sinks, people. These top machines are going to take forever to get filled. I mean, it's so many half by halves. We'll manually fill this bottom layer just so they can hurry up and share with the other layers. And there we go. We got a industrial storage container ×5 worth of heat sink storage ready to go. Now, it's not absolutely perfect because as this tower fills up, they won't all fill at the same rate, right? Because if this one's filled up, then the machines on this level won't be able to dump to here. But it's more or less, it's at least one clean industrial storage container worth. But if that one fills up, then our capacity goes down until we're down here. Interestingly, the ones that get the most inputs also fill the most outputs. So actually, I think that part of it worked out pretty well. I'm actually happy with that. And we're right at an hour, making a halfway decent number of 7.5 times 20, 150 heat sinks per minute, assuming, of course, we get some more copper sheets in place. We need a few more copper sheets. It'll be a long time before we have to worry about aluminum sheets, but copper sheets, we could definitely use a few more of those. But now that this is running, look at that silica flowing. That's really the one I was worried about. Oh, nice. I probably should have put some aluminum solution buffers on this. Or did I? I might have did I do that on the top? Or did I do it just for water? No, I did put a solution buffer. Totally full, by the way. So we're cranking out sheets. And the sheets take both the copper and the aluminum, so that is getting used. I probably should look for a recipe that uses casings. Oh, we already have one. And we're gonna need another one here in a second. How's our casing output look? Ready to go. I presume there's a drone in the computer factory pulling those. That might be backed up as well. Either way, I'm going to call that, and I'm going to call that good news. We've got this heat sink tower going, and those heat sinks are rocking. We are short on copper sheet supply, but we've got a little bit of a buffer, so we can make a few. A non-unlimited amount, obviously, but a good chunk nonetheless. Okay, yeah, let's call it right there. In a future episode, we'll build a facade to this. We'll make that look cool. At least it'll be in the neon. It'll have the neon look and feel. Thanks for hanging out. Well, actually, let's get a little bit of the drone action in there. I do appreciate it. Happy holidays, everybody. Just in case I don't see you. It is Wednesday for me. This one will go out on Wednesday. I'm going to try to crank out a couple more videos so you have something over the holidays. But if I don't see you, happy holidays, happy new year. Have a good one. I hope you're with your friends and family as much as you possibly can and as much as you possibly want to be. We'll see you next time.